When you seek wise counsel, are you looking for advice or really just agreement?
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
We are excited to welcome you to another episode of Life's Inside Track. And I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And it's where we get to share techniques, thoughts, tips, tools, and truths, even the hard ones to swallow, that we all really deserve, need, and it helps us thrive and live the best life possible and build wealth wisely through real estate. Isn't that true? It's a hard pill to swallow.
It is sometimes.
Are we looking? We say we want advice. We say we want counsel. We say we want guidance. We say we want insight and input. I can find so many different ways to say, hey, I'm looking for a varying opinion to mine, or I'm open to hearing what another person's perspective is. And I'm going to ask myself, and I'm going to ask you, are you really just looking for agreement? Because truth, stats prove some truth. Mm-hmm. And the stats say that 70% of people are simply looking for someone to echo or confirm what they already believe to be true. So we're talking 3/4 almost of us only just want really to be in an echo chamber.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of companies when they have a culture of follow the leader. And even when they have their own valid ideas and information, they'll hold it back. And then when the leader gives their idea, they all agree with it, right? And that's out of fear. Now, maybe there's some fear in that I don't want to be wrong with my opinion, right? What I've already formulated, I want agreement with that. I want people to say, yeah, you're right, as opposed to saying, you're wrong, look at it this way. And I think people don't like being wrong. And maybe they're not wrong. Maybe it's just two different ways of looking at things, and maybe one is a little more preferred.
Well, there's preferences, right? I mean, I know you don't love to be wrong. When you said it, I was surprised you didn't rat yourself out.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely hate being wrong. And sometimes I'll die on the hill of saying I'm right when I'm not.
And so when it comes to buying, selling, taking on a real estate journey, I think sometimes we discard the guide, not because the guide is wrong, but because the guide has an opposing opinion to ours. So are you self-sabotaging your own journey? Like this segment and this whole episode, kind of a tricky one. We thought, how do we say this? Even if you have the right guide.
We want to say it in a nice way. Maybe you're getting in your own way.
Right. So even with the right guide, you could be destroying, right. You could be destroying your chance of getting the right counsel because you're not open. So the right guide's useless to you.
Yeah. Maybe you're one that wants wisdom, but only listen to what's comfortable. You don't want to hear the uncomfortable. I know recently our mindset mastery mentor pointed out maybe something that might have been a blind spot.
For Yetta. Thank you.
And you took it very well, and you put into practice right away, correcting that.
Okay, so now we might as well tell you what it is. Like, you can't go that far. Oh, yeah, it's totally cool. So when I'm preparing to talk to you or at the Building Wealth Wisely workshop, anytime I'm delivering knowledge to, almost every time I think it happens, what my Mindset Mastery mentor, Suzanne Hart, shared. And she's been on some of the episodes, and they're always very poignant and insightful and a little bit picante when she's on one of the Life's Inside Track. So you want to go back and watch those. Anyway, we were having a dialogue about just how our energy state or our shift happens in who we be at different times. And she said, yeah, well, they all do. Yours does too. And I said, oh, when? I made the mistake of asking the when question. And she said, well, every time you're going to share knowledge or information from the stage or on a Life Sins Sidetrack episode, you get nervous. And although there's nothing wrong with the nervousness, which is great because it means you want to deliver great information and connect with your people that you're talking to, you get snarky and you get a little bit snappy. And mostly it can. And you get a bit demanding of everybody that's around you. And I went, okay, well, did I really want to hear that? No. And yet hearing it now means I've been on my best behavior today because this was only yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes to real estate, the same thing applies. Are you willing to hear that maybe, just maybe, you're not so open to counsel as you thought you were? And what's the cost to you of not being open?
Yeah, and sometimes maybe you're looking for a real estate agent, you're interviewing a couple, and you're looking for validation of what you already knew as opposed to being open to elevating your knowledge by being open to growth and listening to different perspectives. And that openness is such a critical piece.
I just had a client I was connecting with yesterday in a different market. So I was introducing her to a realtor in that market, a realtor I've worked with before. And I asked the client a little bit, what do you believe your home is worth? Like, where would you think it goes? And she told me. And then I said, is that based on concrete data? Is that, she goes, well, that's a little bit of what I knew, was sort of the height of the market. And I said, do you think the height of the market is still here? And she goes, no, it's probably worth a little bit less. And just hearing, she was open to hearing the real stats and data was what the conversation revealed. Other times, it's not like that. It's the heels get dug in and it's like, well, I want this. I did this work. I put the effort and the energy in. So therefore, my perspective of value is got to be right.
So that's when a seller ignores the stats, the interpretation, the expertise, and sometimes chooses a realtor just by
price.
Who's agreeing with them.
Who's agreeing with the price that they think they should sell their house for. Danger.
Yeah.
Like it really is dangerous. Mm-hmm. And yet it feels good. It feels comfortable, like you said.
Yep.
Do we go for the comfortable or do we go for the uncomfortable?
Yeah. And sometimes I have buyers that want, they want a beautiful house. They want a big house. They want a country house, whatever they want. It's fine. You can want what you want, but you also got to pay for what you want. So I always say, let's get the financing done first before I set up your search, before we go look at properties. We're going to make sure you can afford to buy what you're looking at.
Yeah.
And if they say, no, I just want to see properties, I'm sure I can afford it. Well, they're not listening to wise counsel.
Right. Because the first step is almost always get your financial ducks in a row, because who cares if you find the house of your dreams, but you're not poised to take action.
Yeah. And don't look at a disagreement with a guide as a problem. It's a gift. It's an opportunity for you to discuss it with them, see where their perspective's coming from, where that valuation is coming from, whatever the thing is. And that way you can actually dig deep and grow. And maybe they're right. Maybe they reevaluate based on something you brought, but it's a conversation that's required, right? Mm-hmm. If you're saying, sign me up for some wise counsel, jump on our website at dekkerteam.com and book a 15-minute clarity call. And we're pleased that we can be positioning you to build wealth wisely, because it's about much more than just money.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.